In the first series of presentation that I did this week, I wanted to address a fundamental issue that confronts this movement. The issue of the relationship between men and women. Now, I'm not sure what you're thinking. I'm not sure if you're thinking, this is all we talk about. When are we going to talk about some other issues? Perhaps there's some disconnect between myself and yourselves, if you think that way. As we've been having discussions out of class between some of you and me, it's been interesting to see people's perspectives. And of course, some of you we were together with for the past 3 weeks in Uganda. And some of you I've known for 2 years because we met in Kenya. And some of you I have online communication with. I know some of you are frustrated with me because you regularly give me questions online. They look like this. They're just a list of questions. And I often tend not to answer them. And the reason I don't answer them often is either I will do so in a presentation, or sometimes I have a sense that there's an argument going on, and someone wants me to be the judge to decide who's right and who's wrong. I know that because it's happened so many times, particularly here in South Sudan. And I think the reason for that is because the people here seem open and willing to talk. So I see it as something positive, not negative. But what it does highlight, in my mind, is that there are many misunderstandings. And people are asking genuine questions because they see things in a different way than that which I see them. So I can think and people feel that what they used to understand is no longer correct. So I want to remind everybody that we're all on a journey together. And I certainly don't have all the answers. But for those of us that were in a discussion yesterday outside, hopefully you'll remember that the point I wanted us to get to was not to answer the brother's question.
toal che ba toal ka wan mat ko ka chiti ba ke be
It's more about understanding the process of how you develop answers.
so ke ka ba loy e ba dil nyot nanin anen ke o jalo gud buku job gud buku jalo yo
And for the large part, many of us don't know how to do that.
ku ne yit pa chok ko ju ko wok aku cho ke nge ke lo gud bu toal gud be ber toal ba jalo
And what's more worrying
ku jala ke ko di ra pe
is that some of us don't even want to know.
ko wok chi ke kor bi ke chang ni je toal be ra di
We should all be aware, we should all understand
wo kor buku dil pa buku dete
your salvation is not found in the answers.
nana lwangdu achi to ne ber kini to alberi
It's all about how you understand and the journey that you take.
so eti ina datin jela mamure in ja chatin agudba ber bajala yo
Most of us are not reading correctly.
ko wok achi kichi gore chi ke kwena pet
The reason we're not reading correctly is because our approach is wrong.
so kichi wok kwena pet kichi wok bible kwena pet buku dete eti yo bible kwentin ina karat
And we don't think.
wo chetak
We're just willing to take a statement from inspiration and say, if it says this thing, it must be this way.
so wo ka chi ka gora ayu kalom kulwel ku na chi kana lwel ka to chi choken
Give a simple example.
wala ba ka yen keto
When dealing with the subject of sin,
na jamen ne rej
what does inspiration teach us?
yung ye ki chi gor yung e pye wok
It says that after the second advent, when we get to heaven,
elwel na chi benero de ye chi chira loy ku jol ku la panel
sin will not arise a second time.
kare chi rat ba jot ne kedero
We're all familiar with that passage.
o ni chi ki chi gor ken
Another passage. It says in inspiration
elwel ne ka chi ka gori
that there will be no tears in heaven.
elwel ka bi chen dio panel
All our tears will be wiped away and we'll be happy.
lelu ku jela dien da ben bi nyaay no woni
Most of us, because we have a miserable life here,
ko wok ko jui ka wok ne ken wo pi ra je ten pin ken
we hate our lives.
wo chi pi da chu kunya
We want to leave this planet and go to heaven where there will be all this joy and happiness.
so ko buku pan ken ko buku wan ku buku la pan ne al ten ngi me da pyo
And of course,
yum da pyo
that is just not true.
kana che yi
For sure there will be tears in heaven.
ne yi pa chok ka benang dio pan ne
For sure there will be sin in heaven.
benang red pan ne
And when people hear strong statements like that,
na pin ko we really chi ka
they either think that I'm in apostasy,
ka bi jam ku le yen chi lo ne chwali
or the latest accusation is I'm a Jesuit,
ko jela ka bo be mane le ya e jusi
but they think there's something wrong.
so cha ne ke tak adil nang ke chira wo
So people open their Bibles and they will read the verses to me.
so ka tha bible ke li bi ju ka bi chu ka bible la bi ka kwen ne le ke bible le ki
And
biang ke pan ne
if you've tried to do that with me, you know what my response is.
so ko na ja ke ne cha tem ba di loy ne kam de ke ne yin ka ni ki be re de
Don't read the verse because I can read it as well.
so do ne bible do ne chu ke ne do ne kwen lekin ai kwen ai chu kwen ke
So what I want us to do is think about the models that we have, the ideas, the concepts.
so ka kar bu ko loy e bu ko dil ting ye chok de pi ji ni to ke ne wok ama ye nyin de ye to ke ne wok
If we really understood the sanctuary message,
na yoku pi de da kema yoku de
if we understood what the millennial judgment is about,
kuna yoku lum de biana bur ron biana bur si gor bung de nyot ken yoku de
I think we could begin to see
ke ka le bu ko de ke de kui
not just how reasonable it is, but how accurate it is that sin will go to heaven and there will be tears there.
so ka le bu de ka de ku je de na ne re je ta pa ne ku ka bene dio e da ka ja ba
Just a simple understanding of vow number 12
chi cho da de de lung de baptist tier ku
it would explain much of the problems that we're having both in our models of heaven and the models that we have here on earth.
So ka le bene ka ju le be ke cha de ka I ne biak de tan da pa ne al ku je la tan tan pe na ma ten ke
I don't know how many of you have actually watched those presentations.
Aja ku je ko ke din ne wei ke chi pyu yuar chi ko oi
I don't know how many of you have already been baptized
ko je ko ke di ke chi ka baptist ne wei
and therefore have acknowledged that you understand vow number 12, the nature of man.
so ku ka chi dil a chi ke dil gam na ne ke a chi lung de baptist tier ko chi ke de ne biak de chom de ran
But the reason I'm making that point
ku ku le la ne ke ne
is at the school in Uganda recently,
ne tukulwan ji loi pan Uganda
we began to talk once again of this subject.
ku ka chi jam ne pyu de chom de ran.
How many of you have watched those presentations from 2017? There's about 60 of them.
So you ko ke di ke chi pyu de 2000 runa li fen ku tier ko daro war ne chom de ran I kan get the term.
How many have watched any of those presentations?
Ye ngai chi kang dai ne tung de ke ka ke
So quite a few people.
ko ju ko wi
Now I don't know if you appreciate
aja
or
ku
you realize
aja ku nan ya ke dil de
that presentation, that study was not complete.
na ne pyu jon ke ne ki to
So people are being baptized
ko ja lui ke baptist
with an incomplete model of the nature of a human being.
ke na ngade ti ye kamel ne biak de chom de ran
The people might be surprised by that,
Ko ja
especially if they're
le
not aware of it.
ko ja le bu gai ne ke ne cha na kuch ke
For those people who put their hands up,
ko ja won ti ke chin jat ne
you will know that the focus of that study
le ba ni chom de ki kor bi pyu chi ne kor bi le
was about one issue:
ai to
the will.
kor bi jam de chom de pyo
That was the subject of the nature of a human being.
so ku ke ne ke kor bi pyo ji jam de chom de ran ne ke kor bi pyo wo
was given-
bi jam de chom de pyo ko ama le
It was given in 2017.
kene lo ku runa li fen ku jala pyo ko daro
But this is only half of the study,
kene biak de ka pyo ju ke
the most important half.
ku kene ne ka biak lekin te ki ja pe
What people are not aware of
ke ki ko ki de de
is that before we go to the Levites,
ngot ko king lo to nang li bai
we need to address the second half of that study.
ko kor buku biak de ro de pyo chen kor buku dil de cha buku rom
So the will is
pyo
a title that encapsulates those studies, at least in
So-
my mind.
pyo yene ke chi pyo yuan chu loi bin yene ke che mati
It's not the only way to explain those studies.
chen kwe thung le buo pyo yuan ke ne buo ke yui ri cha buku de de
We could describe it
le buku le
as the inner person,
le buku le ku le pyo le buku de ke le ko de jam ran tin
we could describe it as baptism.
le buku le da na ke ya ke baptism
We could We could describe it as the receiving of a new heart.
ko le buku de ke le ko da elom de pian jut
We could describe it as the receiving of the 10 Commandments into the heart.
alle bu de ga lel ko ada ke lum ke tier bu ga lan pyo
We could describe it as Jesus sitting on the throne of your heart as a king.
alle bu de ga lel ko ada nan ke pyo de chok de ra na wo pyo ye chu na ta ne to no pyo ku nyu jen no pyo ke mele.
There are various ways to understand that vow, that subject.
So anang ko er ju le bu ke pyo kina alle bu de te
It's all about the inner person,
e biak de chok de ra tin
symbolized by baptism.
man chi nyuot ne baptist
And we've spoken about the heart in three ways.
wo chi jam ne chok de pyo ne gan ke biak ke diak
A new heart,
yun ju
the law in your heart,
luôn cái này lấy nó pyo
and Jesus taking the throne of your heart.
của bi ye chu be tuân ta ní pyo be luôn bên như trên cây mele.
Another way to talk about this study was the lower nature.
Để cái chua giảm thế này đấy, để biak để phi cái này, ấy cho để tăng để ra.
It becomes many symbols here.
Nên cái duy cái nhớ vô cái thành cái này.
So I want to just condense all of that into a singular concept.
Cú cả cái bên nào còn bạc cái ma thì nên nông trục, cả bạc cái chơi trục, quay trục.
The will,
Pyo cho được pyo,
willpower.
real được pyo để lực.
If you can understand the true force of the will,
Ý là bao cho để real để lực để pyo là bao đấy.
you can understand the nature and the structure of that study.
Là bao cho để pyo cái này, giờ là thấy chi này duyên xin, là bao đấy.
And that's what I want us to see.
Cú cái này là cả một cái
And many of us have not really understood that.
có duy cái work à cái này cái đấy.
So hopefully people don't have questions, that they're relatively straightforward with that issue.
Có anh toal của cả cor biki cái này, cor biki đấy thì biar cái là chập cái này.
Now, as I've said,
Mình chana luyện,
this is only half the study.
cái này biar để cái chú ramon.
There's more to discuss than just this subject.
Anh cái duy có bu cái ram, awar cái chế cái này thôi.
Perhaps the defining passage that we would want to look at
Anh gà trong cor bu cái này này tin.
would be Steps to Christ, page 47.
Bung chú gor, nhan cái đây lên gì vậy? Đi cho akhet nong cái số, apa termuan của đó.
Chapter 5. It's called Consecration.
Đây chapter the big, của cái chỉ jam nan gam darat, bukan tan nong nè.
The concept of consecration is very similar to sanctification.
So cho de gam darat bukan biar nè là tông này đó, cái này bukan wag bukan là chặt nong nè.
To consecrate means to set yourself apart for a special use.
So chan barat gam nè là cái barat we khi cái chi nè là duy benang cái lối này.
So many of us
Có duy cái wo,
don't know how to give ourselves to God.
có duy cái wo có cụt gam le vua gam nè.
We want to,
Wo kor bukan gam nè.
but we find that we're weak. We don't have power.
Oyo ku yok na yen wo chirier de vua gam nè wo dio ko ko nyo.
We can't control ourselves. We are out of control.
Wo chi de dud wo chi jal ne dora rate.
She then says, in response to this issue,
Chi jam ke bere ken
what we need to understand
ku kor bu de ti
is the true force of the will.
ai cho de pion de rier pion ra.
She says this is the governing force
Ale ken yene ke pion ra mu
in the nature of a human being.
ni cho de ran.
She says this, what you need to understand is the true force of the will.
Ale ku kor bu de ti ai cho de rier de pion de luch.
This is the governing power in the nature of man.
Kukene ene ke kirir ye chok de man ran ye muk.
The power of decision, the power of choice.
Ariel de tak ukariel de lut.
Now, if you want to do a study on the nature of man,
Na korba dil ramne ne chok de ran.
the book to go to is Steps to Christ.
Bung kor bilatin bung chugor nyan ka dalen jiwa de chola ket non kereso.
This would be the manual that you would use to understand the construction of a human being.
Kene ene ke bung tung kor balum ba chok kine ne le chiran kine chak balum.
If you went through the study of this book,
ne bung kene
you'll see that it's really dealing with the issue of the inner person.
aka lebat ye ke ting ke jamen tin ret e chok kine ne le chiran chak ke ran long tin.
That's its focus.
Kene ne ke kelwe.
There's another study that needs to be done connected to this.
Anang pil de kor bu loy markene ken.
This was only half of the study.
Kenai biak de ki chukuromon.
There's another half that needs to be done.
Kanang biak deng kor bu matine da goya kame.
Now, this study
Pil kene
that was done in 2017,
onchilo nu ran li fen ku tir ku daro.
if I can express it this way,
Lela nen chiman benelel kene.
was given to the movement
E gem na ku nom kene.
in order to allow us to come to the close of probation,
Buog duer tio de bam de kai de pio.
in order to receive the midnight cry message.
Buog duer buku piu de chot kau buku lom.
There are many subtle points that we need to understand, but I want to see it from that perspective.
Anang ka ju kor buku de jitel lekin akar buku ting ne chokin.
The study is given
Pi kina chigam
to help us to prepare to receive the midnight cry, which would bring us to the close of probation in 2019.
kina e bi nele chan buog duer buku pi de chodit ka buku lom ku buog duer tio de bab. Yena runa li pen ku tir ku tomwan pa tir ku tom.
We find ourselves in a new dispensation with new challenges.
O chira diop ne ri wachich ama ne gade rad wachich kanen ka juj nan wo ke ka jot
And the challenges that are confronting this movement
ujela ka juj ke chia ku num kene chi ke de ben
are multifaceted.
a juj a pe
What is a person allowed to wear? What are they not allowed to wear?
yongu chi pal ran bi cheng ku yongu kene pal ran chan bi cheng
I don't speak about trousers.
en si jam ne bantelin
How do we address the issue of adornment?
yoku jam din ne bia ka woni ko loj ko myo ne ka ka yit ujela ka juj ko ka
Can people wear makeup? Can they wear jewelry?
lebih ki rut myo ji mana kir ka bu rut myo ne gwer ka de
Then there comes the issue of nationalism.
ko bo dang jam ne biak de chok de yinga pandin
What makes the United States the glorious land?
yo ngoi pan da America e choi pan pet pa la ji
The oil,
ye janto pandin
the climate,
ye chok de pindin
the coal, like charcoal, coal,
ye mineral de ni choi kol kan
the minerals, yes. The natural resources. Is that what makes America the glorious land? So glorious.
ye ne kira America choi pan pet ye ne ali je Bible le ka pan pet ye ne chon pan pet America
Is that what we mean when we talk about the glorious land?
yene ke ku le de jam wok ne biak de pan pet pan ni chol America
Because if you go back to the original,
na lor ne chok de ke gat
the literal story,
ne chok da ko kol tiet
God's people were put into Canaan, the glorious land,
ke koy ke ne ale a ti ka biler pan de Kenan manene pan pet
not only because it had natural resources, there are other places that were just as fertile.
e chi na ne ka ju ke jak tin ten lekin anen bay ko ke de ke pet ke le bu ke luok ti man ne pan ne Kenan ne luok ne mi
In many ways,
ne dol ju
The land of Shinar
ka pa na Shana
Had much-
pa na Babylon
better resources than Canaan did.
en ka juj ka ban ka juj ka jaktin a war pa na Canaan
How do we know that?
ni ku Canada
Because that's where they built the Tower of Babel.
ke tene e ku ni ne yin ki ke pan pa woni bedi de Babel ki ke yi pa na Shana
This is the place that they were going to have as the citadel of this one world power.
so ku pan ke ne ke pan ki ke tak bi ki won bedi de pa di de bi ke de loy bi a kunom di bi pin nom mai ka kunom tok
Shinar would have been the most glorious land.
pan na Babylon idi ne pa di pet ku ne pan chen nom ma pe
Now, perhaps we're not aware of it now,
kena chu ku ni che men
but when these arguments were being discussed between ourselves and the church 10 years ago, 15 years ago,
so on ye ka ke juir ne kam da wona kanisa run ka tier ku di chilo ka run ka tier wa chilo ka
one of the arguments that kept on coming up over and over again
tung de ka ke ba nyal ke tier to wona
is the glorious land, the church,
ka ke lel ke pan che dom ke ni kanisa
in some shape or form?
ne kanisa che juir ke chi yik
Or is it a geographical area?
cái cho de pin
Church.
cái kanisa
Is it the Seventh-day Adventist Church?
cái kanisa de Seventh Day
Is it Protestantism?
cái kanisa de Protestant
Is it this movement?
ya ku nom ken
So even today,
ku che ko le
there are people who are new in the movement
coi jut ne ya ku nom ken
who are trying to discuss this issue
man dia ji ko bi ki ka ko bi ka de te
of what the glorious land really is.
man ye ti na ne pan pet ye Bible le ti ye kan
I even had a discussion with someone 2 weeks ago on this very subject.
so ne ki ye ne ki nen jam ken ran dang ne ya ko kol ken ko kol pan pet ye kan le wi ke ro wa ji la
And they were from your congregation.
ka ka ton we yi ji te
So I know it's an issue here in South Sudan.
nye ke tung de ka le ne junu beden
Because it wasn't just one person.
che ran to
When we were addressing these issues
on yam wok ne ken
and we started to develop the arguments that the United States is the glorious land,
ku jel ku ye pye ken jel ku be ne na ne pan America ene ke pan chinom ene ke pan pet
the basis of the argument
ki ye wo koitin
was not that the United States had all the natural resources.
che na ne ke pan America anen ka jui ke ba ni ben
The issue was,
ki ye ku lel ke
when it spoke about glory,
na jam ne nom
was power.
area
That the glorious land, the United States, is the most powerful nation on this planet.
kana ne pan nom pan America e pan ye ne rid
And we
e
developed,
pin ken nom
various arguments for that.
ku jel ku ka jui ye wo ke ken cho ka jel ku be ne
Not only Daniel 11,
che Daniel tier ku to ke to
we'd go into Daniel 2 to show that.
wo che la ne Daniel rowe ya bu ku ken nyot
We'd go into Revelation 17 and show that.
ku lo ku ne bung de nyot tier ku do ro ku nyot ku ken
And of course, Revelation 13,
a ku ti nyot tier ku dia
which are all issues that people are asking today
wo che ka ju ke ti ka ke ne ko la chu ka bi nyot
here in this camp.
me ya ku nom ken
How do we understand chapter 13, chapter 17, chapter 12 of Revelation?
yo ku nyot tier ku do ro ku tier ku dia ke ku de de
Daniel 2.
bung de Daniel ro
The reason these questions keep on coming up over and over again
ki ye 12 ki ke ben ne ne ta to ku ben
is because we don't understand what is so glorious about that country.
so ki chu ku de te e yo ye Bible en jam ne nom de pan America yo nom de
Until 2016, it became absolutely clear that our previous position was correct.
so kun runa li pen ku tier ku de tem ka chu jal beting nane ki ku le ni chok de nom de pan America e yich
When I say it became crystal clear in 2016,
le la nen ku le ke chi e chi la char ne runa li pen ku tier ku de tem
I'm going to say that I'll give some further evidence on that issue.
anh nên cái duyệt chả cái mà thì để ban cái này để ban cái nhỏ
It should have been absolutely clear.
ấy đi chỉ lấy chặt
Initially, this movement
nó gọi chỉ cái áo quần cái này
understood that Donald Trump would be the next president.
số cái chỉ áo quần cái này chỉ để thì cái bánh đam America để cái chỉ bánh này là tôi nằm năn á ye này nó cái bia bánh với bà bánh là tôi nằm Donald Trump.
Ask people for their own reasons for saying the following.
So anh coi thì cái này luyện
My analysis is the following.
của cái cha bên luyện cái
We became scared.
của cái chỉ địa là phải
We were not confident in our message,
của cái chín coi the pure này các cái yêu cầu pure chỉ
and we got to the place where we said that maybe it will be him and maybe it will not.
thì chúa rồi đã bị tháo thì này chúa có gió về luyện của yên thế để về ai yên cái thế để chỉ về ai yên
In 16,
nó runa lipen của tiệt của đó
we had all the information to understand what makes the United States so glorious.
Kau các neng piu je bin piu ye nyot yung e pan America e na pan da nom.
We'd been studying it before.
E chuku kwen won te e chuku de di won te.
We had identified correctly what that nature of glory actually meant.
Ko ke chuku de di yung e chok da nom da pan America ken.
And when that theory began to be put into practice, or we could see it before our eyes,
Ko an chine ja betao na piu chi jel ku ting chi chok yo e de di.
like an animal that freezes when you shine a torch into their face,
So chiman de len na cha mer ni na ba tare kriyo.
when you have to put your theory into practice,
Na kor ba ki cha tak ni nom kor ba tao no loi.
where you have to open your mouth and that should be in agreement with what you think,
So ku bay tok liep achan ba mat ken ki tak.
we fell apart.
Wo chi jal be wo chi wo yi jal betek
The movement crumbled.
go ku nom ken go yi tek ku yi
And even today,
ku ti ko le.
not enough of us correctly identified what the issue was then.
So ka chi ko yi ke wo yi ke ye de ti yong ye miskla e ko lon.
We make excuses
Wo dai wo ko doi lok
that we didn't have enough information in 16.
ko wo na ne nu ka ke chin ka ju ji ke yu ko de ti runa le pen ku ter ku da.
So in 16,
Runa le pen ku ter ku da.
it became, we then had the evidence before our eyes about what we used to preach.
Wo ka ke chin ki ye nyot bu ku ting no ni ne ki yo ku we.
The glorious land.
Pan chin nom
What makes that country so glorious? What is that glory referring to?
so yung e nom ken e jam Bible ken.
Pride, power, arrogance,
So ye like the rot ye real kay nom real de.
that's what this glory was referring to. We used to teach this more than 10 years ago.
Ku ken ne ke job de nom ken ku ken ay ku pyo jurun ke tirwar sila.
And in 2016, you had the clear demarcation between two government systems.
So kun runa le ben ku ter ku da tem ko wo chi jab na adeti la chap ne biak da kunim karo ka kuma.
One that was
Okay.
not about being glorious,
Ke tu ngai che biak ye pan America en pan chin nom
President Obama,
bain da America e chol Obama
and one that was about being glorious.
ku tok e chok da pan America e kai pan chin nom.
Candidate Trump.
Bain Bonel e chol Trump.
All the evidence was before us.
Ka ju chi bin e ka to ai ka chu ka ting.
We did not need to go to the beginning of Daniel 11 and see who was the richest president that's ever been. We didn't need to do that.
Wo chi ko ai chu ko bu ko lo na bung da Daniel tier ku to ku bu ku ting ye nga ye meleng chi ban. na bung da Daniel tier ko
if we had identified and followed through with everything that we knew,
ti chu we de ti ku jol ku de ko kwang ku chuk ni ka ke ni ku ke ben
that it's a real land,
na ne pan ke ne
and the glory of that land
ku nom de pan ke ne
is not its natural resources, it's the fact that it's a proud country.
che ka chin ale ka chak tin de ki ne chok de pan chin ale chi nyuo na ne pan rat lech.
When that candidate opened their mouth
Wan liep ke ko jon kai pan America liep ke to ke jam
and said, I will begin to dismantle, to undo 8 years of history,
wan liep ban America Donald Trump wan Yemen kulelen an batok liep wan an be jam na ko kul run war ke ber chi lo ko bar yo ka ko kul ken cham ba cha tam
he promised to do what?
yo mo chi belwel belon
What did he promise to do?
yo mo chi don yo mo chi belwel ke ko belon
Make the USA
yo mo chi lwel belon lwel America ko ba cha dit re
I don't want to say great,
America kar ba cha dit ku ba dir man wan tere dir ken
he wanted to make it glorious again.
ki kor bilo ya kor ba America ba choi pan chi nom ne ke dero
America was special,
el America e pan chrodwe eloi to
better than any other nation.
eloi to ke war be ko tan pin no be
That was the issue in 2016.
kini ne ke ki chraloi ne runali pen ku ter ku ta
And that was in complete agreement with our understanding of what the glorious land of verse 41 was.
ku kene ine ke chok de yig de nani nom de pan America to gor Daniel ter ku to ter man ku to
For more than a decade before, we had understood all of that.
Nurun ka tro chilo run ka tier chilo war kene yo ku de ti benia
So when the theory gets put into practice and it becomes a living reality,
na yo ku kayu ka tak yo ka ta no loi jel ka ya ka loi rat ka kayu ka woi no nyin
what do?
yo ku loi
We fail the test.
ka wok woi da yi woi tema yo chu ku lew ne tiem
Do we know we've failed the test? Do we know that we have failed?
yo ku nyit na ne ka tem chi yen wo ken
No.
ken ku tiam
We don't know.
chu ku nyit
Because what happens is
ke ran loi ke
we defend ourselves and say, we don't know.
woi rat gel ku lel ku ken chu ku nyit nan chu ku yi ka ken ku yi
2 years later,
run kero wan ti ben ali pen ku ter ku da tem
the proof of all of this will come to light.
ke ka jwe ji ke ka ke yi a chi ja be nyo be ben be ke woi bu ka woi no woni
A discussion occurs
ke chi rat be loy ke
around how America is constructed.
chi cho de tan chin America chini cho pin ke ba
Its nature, its property.
tan to wen ku je la ka ta ni yen
And this discussion is not between two American factions.
ku ko jam ke ne chi to ne ka de da ku mai kero amma ting nei da America karo
This is a discussion that's occurring in this movement
kene e ke loy rat ne akunum kene jam loy rat na akunum
between two groups of people.
ne kam de ko karo
Americans and non-Americans.
Kira jam loy ne akunum kene che betek ne American ku je la ko cha American
And these non-Americans
ku ko cha American ka
are telling the people from the glorious land
ale ko ta pan da America che nom ken
that they don't know what's going on,
chi ke ni yong loy ro
that they're wrong.
ane ke ai ko chu wo
These people
ko ke
point to the glorious people and say, you are wrong.
ai ko ka pan America chi ka be jal yo ku le we ka chu wo
And what do you think the Americans say?
yong chi American bi le
Who are you
ngai yak yak yi nga
to tell us
chan ba cái lẽ wo
the people who are so powerful,
coi win ri la pe
who are so special,
coi chin chi coi lời thổ
who are you to tell us that we're wrong?
ye yin ngai we yin ngai chan ba cái giá lẽ wo nani we chu wo
Don't you know who you're talking to?
ku coi cái we coi giá mo cái
You're talking to what people?
giá mo yin à
The glorious people.
yin giá mo nó coi chi tiền nuông
So their true colors began to show
cho đến chỉ cái giá phải gọi là nhớ
of arrogance,
để cho cái win nó mày
of pride.
vậy là lấy ra rất
Now, I'm not saying they made any laws,
cha lớn cái là cái nên luôn chỉ cái biết lối
but they were no longer talking like a lamb.
ấy cái chi giảm chứ mình để nhon đam mà
They began to speak like another power.
chỉ biết giảm chứ mình cho để bung để nhớ real đằng Bible real mình
And then they began to make war with the remnant of God's seed.
so cụ dễ cái tròn gol chẳng biết cái lối cái này cái chiến đông cái mẹ này
So I want us to see
cái nào cả bút tiếng
that the subject of the glorious land
nên phía để pan trên nón
is about people thinking they're better than other people.
ai ye nó phía nên nó có gì giảm cái tiết cả war coi cọc
This is the subject of nationalism.
cái này phía gì giảm nên kia coi chế pan
This study is
coi cọc bị cái hội cái năng riêng
this study is given in 17.
so phía trên này game mình runali pen của thier của đó
The glorious land issue comes up in 16, a year before.
so ku phía de pan America cái pan trên nôm bon runali pen của thier của detem runtuk có jalan runali pen của thier của đó
In fact, it's actually 2 years before.
so ku này cái bo cái run cái rồi cái li pen thier của đó của ken bay
As President Obama
wan chin Milik Obama
in 2015
runali pen của thier của đấy
is beginning to make significant strides in correcting the direction in which the United States is headed.
Ku de ke loi chuk penyedit benyuat nane tele pan America le entin
Someone begins to get raised up visibly
Quran chijal bejat nyal
Who claims-
ko chiben
who claims they will fix the problem.
ran chebe ran chirat benyuat nane na kur be kanwan America kan be chok pe
Did President Obama believe in this?
banyu Obama ye ka ke gam
No.
ake chi ke gam
And that was his problem,
ku kene ne ke kenwane
that he didn't believe the United States was so glorious after all.
e che gam nane pan America e pan chinom
Whether you like him or dislike him,
na niaren kaman
he had an 8-year mission
eneng luai ci gam ina run kebe
to turn the United States
jan bu pan America
into a land
de choi bai abach choi bai ba ke che pan tin nom
and to destroy its glory.
ku be nom de dil rio
And as he came to the end of his presidency,
on bi en tok de bain de
the final act of that we could all see
ke chirat jo beloi tok de chu ku ting wo nyin
was the issue of same-sex marriage that became one of the major turning points of his presidency in 2015.
so ke chirat ja beloi ten e biak de tie de koi thum ni tik ku moi i tik ku tik je la moi ku moi
Of course, the other issue that is associated with his presidency is the issue of health care.
so ku kaneng dang e da ne to ke da jam ne bain de ne biak de pya lo gop ke che loi long de pya lo gop che bai be
We should all be familiar with that. They call it Obamacare.
so kor bu ku del ni che ken e chole ke de pya lo gop ne Obama
We've all heard of that.
chu ku ni chole Obama ke
Yes?
ku ni je ben
Whether you agree with it or not,
ti ne gam ke che gam
that's not what we address.
ke kena che ne ke jamo
If we can distill that issue into a singular concept, it's the following.
na buku kena buku lom bea ke tok cái là buku dia kita kuala.
He wanted health care for everybody.
Ekor piala gop tenang ra ne ben bukan nyinti ne biak de piala gop tenang ra ne ben pan Amerika.
And he gets rejected.
Bojaj.
What we need to understand,
Ekor buku dia
the reason why the United States does not have a national health service
ke pan Amerika en chen aku num tungawin pan den ya ko myo biak de piala gop
is because of one singular issue.
ke de tuk we to ka bach.
It's racism.
Biak de ting de tuk ne biak chino ko chak tin del.
That's why they don't have a national health service.
We ne ke chen aku num nyinti ne piala gop pan Amerika.
Because it was a racist issue.
Kene ko tek tok ne biak de ko ge la ko cho.
And he wanted to fix that problem.
Ku kene yo ko de del chok pin de la chak.
The law gets put into place. The law gets put into place
Long a jal betao
in 15,
runali pen ku tier ku de.
same-sex marriage.
Biak do ne ko tik ku tik ke te al mo.
Same time,
Ya ta tum
someone's going to be raised up,
ko je ja ka jat ne.
begins to say what? What does he begin to say?
Long chi ke be al ko wa be be ne al pan Amerika.
I'm going to go to see if I can become the president.
So ke dan ke na chi ja be jat ne al je le pyo na ne la pa tem chan ba di la ban ye pan.
And I'm going to make the United States special again.
Ku ko pan Amerika ba chok ye pan lời tốt
To put the glory back in place.
ba nom den ke ne ba del tok te de.
All of that is happening in 16.
Ku ke ne lời rat ne runali pen ku tier ku de ta.
We already understood this more than 10 years before.
Kene chu ku de ti ne run ke tier won chela.
In 2018,
Runali pen ku tier ku bet
this issue is going to confront the movement.
ke kene be aku nom kene ba ben tin ku de ku kor be de ti.
This discussion here.
Ye ke lel ku ne biak de pan Amerika ku jela wor ko ko che ko ta Amerika.
2 years of Donald Trump's influence
Run ke ro chin pan chin ban da Amerika chin ko myoy ni.
doesn't infiltrate into our movement.
Ekin bi ben ne aku nom kidani.
It didn't make people change their position.
Ekin ko bi chawar ne biak de kai ke de ti.
What it did was
Ki bi loy ke.
reinforce their position and legitimized it.
Chi ki ke tak ki jo bi cherit ku jel choi je choi ke chan ne long.
So people in the movement,
Ko ta na ku nom.
these ones,
Ko ke pan Amerika
after 2 years
run ke ro
of making America great,
on chin Donald Trump chen lel bi pan Amerika ba chok.
We're now-
ki ba di ke de ro.
we're now willing to speak out
Ke chirut jal yire chan bi ke ba jamaya.
to destroy every Christian principle that we should all believe in,
Chan bi ki lung de kersano yu ku gam ben bi di rio.
we'll just take one.
A chetok ja belo.
This world is not our home.
Pin kene che pin da.
We're all ambassadors here.
Wo go ma ke ni ten.
The kingdom of God is not of this world.
Ching de panel che ke de pin nom.
That issue got destroyed
Kene chi bi rio
here in 2018,
runali pen ku tier ku ba.
and people became emboldened
Ko ja chi jal bi ya ko ja win chi ke nim nyaj
to speak their mind,
bi ke nim luen
to say the following:
bi ke ka ke ja luen.
the people who are not Americans,
Na ne ko ta pan Amerika
they are not able, they don't have the qualifications
a chi le bi ke nen ke le bi ke nyuat
to speak to Americans and tell them what to do.
chan bi ke jam na American York yung le bi ke leu na luar.
Are any of you American here?
Ang ran pan Amerika to na we jitin.
No. Do you think
Yetak
being a member of this movement, a priest,
chan baya priest baya banyi ka ke na le nya ko nom kene.
that you could go to America
chan bala pan America
and have a meeting with these Americans
ku lo nang phe yo ne ke ka American ka
and tell them how to behave properly.
ku ba ka yo ke chan bi ko pi ra pye ta de
Do you think you could do that?
chi le ba loi kan
Do you think you can go into their systems, the way they think, and show them that they don't know what they're doing?
so chi le ba de ki lo na cho ke tek tin ku ba de ke nyo de ke na ne ke loi ke a ku ke
Who thinks they're not qualified because they're not American?
so e ke le na ne ko ka a ke ni na ke ti ngi chan ke ka chi to pan America.
Who would allow these people to say, you can't tell us what's right and wrong because you're not American? Who believes the following?
Ye ngai ke ni ngai gam na ne America na le be ke para chan be ke ale na ni yin ina ra tin chi le ba yi ku le ta chi le ba tek tok ba le wo chan ni cha America.
So just tell me if this is what you said. Who believes this is right, that the Americans can say, don't tell us what to do? Is that what you said?
Ye ngai gam na ne na le America ye ne ke le ke ne a che yi ama ke yi ye ngai gam na ne ke ne le be ya ka pet
Do you have authority?
nang ri ra chan ba American ba ka wet chan be ke le ku be ke gam
Do you have authority?
nang ri
Do you have wisdom?
nang ni
Do you have understanding
nang adete
to go to an American and tell them they don't know what they're doing?
bal pan American ku ba ka yok na ne ke loy ke a ku ke
Put your hands up if you don't think you have that ability.
na chin te tang ke na chan badil we nang American ku ba ke chau pin ne ke tak ke tao chin ne tang ye ngai gam na na ka chi we lo
As a messenger of God,
ke chin ne le lo chan ba we
do you think you don't have that power,
ye tak na ni nin chin ri ke
that right,
yi chen
that ability?
ri de nom chin tang de nom ke ni chin ne le gami
So no one put their hand up.
kran che chin jam ne
So you all agree that you have the authority and the wisdom and the power to do that.
so yin ay ka dil gam na ne we nang ri ki chi cha ka American chan badil tak
In 2018,
Runali pen ku tier ku bet
when the midnight cry is being given,
on chine pi de chot dit de were chine be gam
the Americans
ko ke pan America
stand up and say, you cannot tell us how to direct and order our lives because you're not American.
so America na chere be ja na ku le yin in ti le boy yo bu ku pi de bu ku cha de chani ni cha America
Is that right?
kene yi
Is that how God operates?
kene ne te ne le lui ti
America for the Americans?
pan America ke da America
No.
chene te ne le lui ti
The same year,
run tong kene
the same Americans
American tong kene
come to Africa,
ben Africa
and the Africans say what?
mo cha African be la ke
What did they say?
mo cha be la ke
Africa is for Africans.
so a che be la ke na Africa ke Africa
Don't bring your United States morality here.
Don't chok the pi de pan America don't beat it.
We don't want your cultural issues here
Wachi chok the pan pi duan the pan America chu ko de ten.
because we're not American.
Chan wo wachi ko ke pan America.
We're African.
Wo pan Africa.
And you know what the Americans said?
Yo che ke bele.
We agree with that.
Kena yo gam.
We won't interfere
Wachin mishkila ne we kapuni
just as long as what? Just as long as you don't interfere in our business.
Cuman bi we chiwerot be mar ne kayo kataki.
They come here in August
Bende ne pe ne bet.
and they agree, we won't interfere in your business.
Wachi be lo ne kaya ka loi.
In October,
Pa tie
they say,
ko le
what did they say in October?
ko chi bele le pa tie.
Don't interfere in our business.
Nani ne da we do ko lo ne kayo ko loi.
I want us to see a sequence.
Nang kar ki chat la ni por bu ti.
16, 17, 18.
Runa le pen ko tier ko datam tier ko daro ko jela tier ko bet.
So the subject of nationalism is alive and well in this history.
Phía de biak de pan de yingak sira dia binyot ne akukul kini.
And everyone who's not American knows it's ugly.
So Quran berani ni keceran pan Amerika ni chicken. Bi yingak ro da dom pan de chet chet.
Let me ask you a question.
Kau bagati to alben.
Is it correct
Ye
for Americans
nang Amerika
to come to an African country
ben pan tong de baik Afrika
and impose their American values upon these African people?
ku be jog gene pi pan Amerika chan be town wonin ko ka pan Afrika.
They bring their Western mindset into an African country. You agree with that?
Bigi jog de nom yeke pi tin pan tueng ti bigi bay pan Afrika ku baga pi chi pi den din ra ka nang ran game
What do you think?
yang ai gam
You don't think it's correct?
chi lu ku del de nan ka ni.
In America,
Pan Amerika
at a camp meeting,
ne pi jog loi
forget at home, won't discuss at home yet. When you've finished your meal, you take your own plate and you take it to the kitchen.
so pan Amerika ku nang pi loi ku chap to ku chap ke tan loi dom ku lere te wonda ta
If you're a speaker,
na yeran pi
you queue up like everyone else does.
cái gì nên ta về mai chứ mà này coi cọc vậy cái lôi
You don't get preferential treatment.
so in chin cái lôi tôi cái ní ra lôi thì
So when you come to Africa,
na bar Africa
should you impose that colonial perspective on African people?
le ba cái nên le ba bia cái nên le ba bia chứ coi cái pan Africa ni mà chán biết cái gam na này cam mà này đã vé mà chỉ thấp
Because the Africans say, we don't do that here.
Africa này cái lôi cái này chú lôi thì
When you come to our country,
bar pan đến
we respect you.
na bar pan Africa cái ini cũng điều
You sit down
nhỏ chứ pi
and we serve you.
ngày quý này miền
Because that's how we do things.
cho nên cái điều cái lôi
Is that an American, African problem?
cái này Michigan này cam đấy America cái Africa
Because
Michigan
too many of us think that it is.
ở dưới câu ấy cái delta cái này cái yên cả
The Americans thought it was.
cái là America kì
They said that's how they do it in Africa. We should not interfere in their business.
so cái lối lên này cái thế này lối thì Africa vô chỉ là bukula này thì đây này cái lối thì cái
And everybody loved them.
giờ coi cái đấy giờ là cái nhà
And now,
của mình
these non-Americans,
coi chỉ America
European people,
coi cái pan là Europe
and all their colonies,
giờ là coi
now coming to Africa,
coi cái lối của giờ cái bên pan Africa
and we say you're not allowed to operate that way.
của giờ Africa giờ cái cái lối với cái có phố là chán ba cái lối á
You can't operate with your African culture anymore that way.
như chỉ là bây giờ với chỉ là ba cái giờ coi này chồng được phi được pan đun Africa này quê đun này
And so people don't like us.
bây giờ chỉ là cái work này
They wish for the good old days when Future for America was running things.
so hai cha để cái tắc cái niệm na kul pia doan để cho pan aku nam the future for America để cho cái pio
And there was order.
kanga cái cha the pia
The problem is,
mishkila ke
too many of us see it this way.
có duy cái work cái thing này dal cái này
And what we don't see
cái chú quyết định
is that the issues that we're confronted with are not nationalistic ones.
na này cái duy vô cái ta cái bên cái lời rút ache cái pan để nhìn nghe
They're not cultural problems.
ache cái bên cái biak để chèn
So let's not call these cultural issues because they're not.
so các cái chỉ là bu cái chol cái bên cái biak để chèn cha na ache cái biak để chèn
We're dealing with principles and ideas that are antagonistic, that are against the principles of heaven.
ô jam này cái bên trek của cái luồng win why cái luồng cái pan này
We've been doing this so long, we actually think they're nationalistic variations.
so cái này cũng đi lôi cũng buku chọc the way way kenim chỉ pa đến những ngày buku del nhảy
We will no longer allow this to happen.
chọc để pa đến những ngày chỉ là buku ba par chan Brazil bat.
We will no longer allow people from the West to come to the African continent and say, you can do what you want, you won't interfere.
Way chỉ là buku coi pan twing pan the West. Because Ben Africa will again, well, the back card, no, the back alone. Why she will
As long as you don't come and interfere in our business. And the reason that they take that position is because they think they're special. And there is none special, no, not one. So this issue of nationalism is occurring in this history, as we've discussed. And the study on the nature of man has already begun. Of course, the issue of nationalism that's being addressed here between the Americans and the Africans the framework in which the differences are being seen is not because Americans don't like people whose skin is different colors. It's not because they say, oh, you've got black skin, so therefore you behave differently.
So,
what is interesting is the differences and the similarities between the American and the non-American.
So, they've
all got their different ways of dealing with things. Nationalism. We call it racism. But the thing that connects these two people together is that they agree on one thing. The relationship between men and women is that men will take advantage of women and they will suppress them. They will limit their ability to achieve their dreams and their goals.
So
that women will not be allowed to reach their potential. So through this issue of nationalism, its sister issue, the one of sexism, is joined together. They both come here in 2018. And what's interesting is, we're in 2020 now. If I were to ask you, and I did, Americans better than you? You said no. Can you go and tell Americans how to behave? Yes. Can you go and tell them that their understanding of their own systems of government are wrong? Yes.
chỉ là balon
Simple example.
chứ mà này cần
The United States Constitution
lung miri Japan America
Who are the most qualified people to understand what that constitution means and how it should operate?
ấy nga lebih ki miri Japan America lebih ke date ku lebih ke nyo de luye de
If you ask an American, they'll tell you it's the Supreme Court.
so kuna tik koi Japan America ka luye ke ya ke undi de look undi de na lung loy ke ne ka lebih ke
If you
de
ask an American in this movement,
na tik American ta ne ku nom ke ni
you get the same answer.
ke le ba ya ile ba be to ngale ba de ke yo
And that's the fight that's happening in 2018.
we ne ka ke chira lo na na le pen ku te ku ba
Because the non-Americans, the Europeans,
ne ke chi koi ka pa ne Europe
are saying the people who are most qualified to understand United States constitutional law are non-Americans.
so koi ke chi ku ja bi le na le pen ku te ku ba ke koi ka pa ne Europe chi ke bi le koi le adetik de miri Japan America ai koi cha America
AKA, you and I.
yin ku jala
We're the ones that are most qualified.
o kai le bu ku na adetik de miri Japan America
Because we understand the prophetic rules of interpretation.
chan wo ka ku detik wo nang lum ka geri de wil ka nyot
And time has shown us that we were correct.
ku ka chi ta chi wo pi tin ka na chi nyot na ni ku ka nang yi
Because every single American that did not agree with us has now left the movement.
na ne ran ben Japan America che mat ka na wo lum ka Bible chi ja ne ku nom ka ni
It took a year for that to happen.
chi ron to ka chi jot ta chan be ka ne brat loy
So I want to put you on warning now.
we kor ba ka ni le men
If you have a protectionist perspective,
na nong tang a woni ro ta ta chan barat gel
whilst at the same time claiming to uphold the truth,
ku ne ta to ka le na ni yin mug yit ka ne le
you've got about 12 months before you leave this movement.
so yin nang pe ke tier pro ni nom tren ku ba ja le ku nom ka ni
The separation is coming.
teng de cha bo
It's already beginning to happen in our movement.
ku kana lo ro ne ku nom ka da ni
It's based upon these very issues.
kana aka ne ke long ki chu ka le
And back here in 16,
du brat ne da le pe ne tier ku da tem
where the Americans are already getting it wrong,
so an chin koi ka pa na America chi ke ja beting ku lo ke
where,
chi
where we're given the prophetic tools to deal with that issue,
so ko che long ka Bible nyo ta chu ka bi nyo ta chan bu ku ke ne bu ku chop pe
you have all the help that you need.
so wo nang ke kor le bi yin ko
By the time you get to 18, it's finished.
on jo ba ne runa li pen ku tier ku bet
1 year later, in 19,
ko run to ke le ne runa li pen ku tier ku dong man
they've left the movement.
ko ke ja ne ku nom ke ne
Each of us
ngang no yi
are going to go through a similar path
o be de la ne che kin tong ke ne
if we don't become cognizant of what is going on.
ti chu pa ku bu ku ting yong le ro
They get the mistakes here.
e ke woi chan bi kan de ti the long movement
They tell you they agree.
pen ku tier ku da tem ko ke le ne ku gam
In 18, they're going to fight.
runa li pen ku tier ku bet
In 19, they leave.
ku bal ka tor ka na ku no na runa tier ku dong man e jel na ku no
We're about to go through the same process now
wo ka te ne wala ne che kin tong ei ne me
over the same issues
ne tung ne gan tong on ka ke
about organization,
bia ka wen da jue e na ku nom ji
how this movement implements instruction and law.
chok e na ku nom ken yen long yen ke jue
Do we go to another country
yo ku lo pan da
and the country says, do we do it this way?
ku le la ku nom ken ka yo ku lo ele
We will not say you can carry on doing it your way.
ka chi le bu le we le ba ka la twen ku lo ke chi chok yo we lo ke
We'll not take this protectionist perspective.
bia ka wen yen kan yen e ko re gel ken chi le bu ku lo bu ku we pa le dal ken
Because we're not of this world.
wo che ko ke pe no
And the issues that we're addressing
ku ka je mo ka ti ne me
are universal principles.
ai ka wen e ka mai pe no me ben
not nationalistic cultural problems.
Ache kakapande ingak ni chenge kecheng.
In order to assist us in this work,
Chan buku rut gel ne loy kene, buku rut koy ne loy kene.
in 19,
Ngali pen utir ko dongan.
we have everything that we need to succeed.
Wonang kaj jinna le ka yen wo be chan buku tip.
If I were to ask you, are you succeeding? You're all going to say yes.
So na te we na ne tiam ka le ke nam wo tip.
To help us,
Chan buku rut koy.
we're going to have a new study.
Ubeneng pyujut
And what will the subject be?
yung bea ke buku luen
The nature of man.
chok daran.
God has shown us that He's going to deal with this issue in two parts, in two dispensations.
Mele ke chu nyot nan ne chok daran bi nyot na ri kero.
The one that we're going to address in this dispensation
Ke go jam ne ri to tin ne na.
is the subject of habits.
Ai chok da chik daran cheng daran.
This is going to be the overarching theme that's going to help us either pass or fail this dispensation.
So kene bo nyot nanin buku ri to tin kene buku tem de buku tiam ka buku wi.
The nature of man.
Chok daran
It will come this year.
bebenerun kene.
We could describe it in different ways.
Ala buku le na dolu waj
The outer person,
chok daran Long Beach.
the body,
Whoop.
resurrection,
Generat
all about our behavior.
chok ye wo tatin ko koi ke nele.
We will be confronted with the difference between men and women,
Ku jela wo de kam de yi ti ku mo.
between different nationalities,
Wo de biak de kam de bay kok waj.
all comes under the title of habit.
Ka ke ben aben ne pyu chu le chu gon nam ke a chengdu.
This is going to explain and help us navigate our way through this time period.
So ku kene ne ka be a ju er kene abil le ben ko bo nyu bu ku cha de ne ta ta wo ten kene.
We had enough information back here
Wonang pyu ji de ne runali pen ku ter ku dongan.
to know how to address the issues that are confronting this movement,
Ku bu ku nyek bu ku ka ju ya ku nom kene ye ke lan bu ke nyu ta de bu ke chok nya de.
when it comes to the issue of what we eat,
De bien biak de ke yo ku cham
drink,
ye ku dek
wear,
ye ku chen
occupy our time,
ke le bu ta da na long le bu ku lom
how and where we live,
yo ku chen de.
which we call reforms.
Kena yo ku chol chopin.
We had everything here.
Wonang kan ka de ten.
And now we're going to do a study on this,
Wo benang pyu ne biak de ke ka.
and it will only confirm what we already know.
So wo bi jam na ka nya ke gun ta.
And the test will begin to happen now.
Je la tem bin ko tem berat gol lo ai ta.
Not a singular issue,
Chetok.
a multifaceted problem
Ke di duai.
under the title
An
of
wa ji
under the title of equality,
ne biak de tung de nom.
nationalistic equality,
Biak de pan de yingak tung iti ku mo tung ke ni.
and sexual equality.
Je la biak ko win biak ko win de bay tung ke giờ là việc ở bên để cam để thì có một tổng thể
If you're struggling with this issue now,
na để chi duy rồi nên các cái mẹ
if it's not clear in your mind,
cái này nó cho mình đến đâu
you will fail when we're going to be tested
cái gì nên cái điều gì thì lên nó tem
in a much stronger fashion on the issue of gender.
thì lên nó tem là việc để cho để một cái tích
So I want to remind us as we close.
với con bảo vệ thắc mình mình thiếu vô cái
2020, we're already well into the year now.
so what our man này ron cái này rồi nào lên có thấu
The month of January is virtually gone. January is finished.
bài thưa bài tốt bài tiếp tục
We have months.
one and page
Elder Tess has already put you on warning that the increase of knowledge will occur this year.
so nhàn cái để test chuối thao chuối nhiều là nó dương đó rất là nhị và lôi này ron cái này
I've already told you this study will be put into place this year.
so cuối chắc cái lệ về phía cho buku rom này ron cái này
Those things have to happen before Panion.
so kakak có buku lôi ang ngod kukul paniam cái kịch vậy
And if here in this congregation,
man này ako nom cái này
we cannot deal with the very basic and easy issues that confront men and women,
wo chi là buku jam này biak để cái điên nhập vào về biak hero dia đấy cái nói
you'll be swept away.
thì chúa jam này cái wo là buku jam
When the stronger tests come upon us, which they soon will.
wo là buku jam thì lê cái đi đua thêm thì lên bên
People are failing the test on reforms.
có cha duyên này biak thêm vấn đề chụp mình
That should never even been an issue
cái này chỉ là biak cái đấy
because of the subject of the will.
cái này biak được phiêu lịch
But it's going to be addressed here.
cái nào buku jam thế này trên
We've already laid out the logic in the last 3 weeks
so yên nên cái chụp ta mình cái buku ngon ở phía đây để is bỏ cái điều vào chỉ là
of why the reform message that we have is still correct, still has integrity.
so ne biak de phía de chụp mình cho cái nó wo để cái ni để cái nông rier chẳng có để cái phía wo
People, not only in this country, not only in the continent of Africa, but throughout the world,
ne pin nó mới bên chia pan cái này thực qua chia pan Africa pin nó mới bên
but it does seem to be a problem in this part of the world in particular.
so kuyen chỉ đi là mấy cái lại ne biak de chụp mình ne biak de pin nằm trâu trên cái này
That people do not understand how equality works.
có kiến chụp de tung de nấm kiến cái đấy
They don't understand the relationship between a man and a woman.
cái đấy thì dùng mất ne cam de ít cái này một
If we don't understand how to deal with reforms,
na kiến cái đấy thì dùng yoko chụp mình yoko lôi đấy
if men don't know how to treat women,
na chi rồi chỉ cái nhích cái dia đấy cái coi cái lôi đấy
when we come to the next great issue on this subject, we will fail.
cái đi bên nè phía trong cái này cái walk qua bên cái này vô cái gì
This is why we're laboring so much
cái này nó cái jam walk thế này đấy nó cái phía walk
on these issues,
nè cái gì
whilst at the same time
nè ta trong
preparing God's church for Daniel 11 verse 41, which is soon to come upon us as an overwhelming surprise.
so mình của cái đâu có gì cái đấy sẽ đến này lấy aku kul Daniel tier của chụp terman của dia terman của chụp mình bên cái dagai nong walk bên
Pay attention to what's going on.
cho cái gì pin cái lời rồi thế
God is the God of order. God is the God of order. He does things in order.
nè lên càng lôi na duy
It's clear to us
lại chả nong walk
when we observe the dynamics that are going on here,
today walk nè cái lời rồi kawa chứ thế này
too many of us in this congregation are failing the test.
có duy cái vội nhau có nằm cái này yuek a chi tâm chi cái tiệm
We're not here to condemn.
wo chi tao thế nè chan bu ko bu
We're
ko
here-
wai
We're here to identify
wo tao thế nè chan bu ko ting
and to assist.
bu ko ko
We're not your enemy when we tell you these things.
wo che adu kon le lo ke ka
But we can't be like those Americans
wo le bu ko ya wo chi le bu ko thum wo na ka American one
who came to Africa
còn depend pan Africa
and said it's okay
wel ke ka pieta
for women and men
nong diar ko ro
to continue in their dysfunctional way, which is against the laws of heaven.
bi ke jal de chi ke chat lung ken ka nom lia pe lung wai lung ka pa ne
And to cloak that rebellion with the name of culture.
ko ba gạt chi nó có gạt ne le chin ken bo kum ko ne ke choi chieng
Let none of us do that.
ne chira no wok te men bi ken lo
And if you do, you should stop now
na
before
e
it's
lo
too late.
ke na kor ba dil ko ne men angot ke ga
Let's pray.
dan
Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for your goodness and your mercy. We want to ask and pray that you would guide and direct us in the study and meditation of your word. Lord, as we see how easy it is to fail tests, as we see that we do not hold on to the past and apply those rules and principles in the present, that we will fail in the future. There are people who are bowing before you here, who have walked through that history that led to the leader of this movement falling into the wicked world below. They saw the steps that he had taken. They saw the danger that he exposed himself to. But they saw, Lord, how he was unwilling to change. We're now experiencing that same phenomena amongst ourselves. May each of us not have a similar fate, but rather may each of us attain unto life eternal. It's your will that we should. We have the ability and the opportunity to do so if we remain faithful. It's my prayer that each of us have an examination of whether or not we are in the faith or whether we're in the world. Be with us and bless us, Father, we pray in Jesus' name.